Hey guys, this footage is from Actions Card House up in Ontario. It's a Sunday tournament, $60 buy-in at 1 p.m. every Sunday. Single rebuys, $20 add-on breaks. Trying to improve my footage a little bit and add better graphics and make it a little cleaner. So, let me know what you think.
Welcome to the chaos, folks. Kicking things off with the classic misfire. Didn't hit record fast enough. Camera took its sweet time focusing, and yes, I already butchered the first hand with Ace King. Didn't get it recorded, so we have a slightly over starting stack here. If you're expecting textbook poker today, I'd lower those expectations. This will be more of a masterclass in what not to do. Let's strap in. Hand number 3 of the tournament. Blinds are 50 and 100. I've got just over starting stack, and we're already in the thick of it. Action folds to me in the cutoff. I look down at pocket 8s. It's an absolute monster when you're folded to in this position. Bump it up to 800. Big blind makes the call. We're off to the races. Flop comes out. King of hearts, queen of spades, 8 of clubs. Bink. Bottom set. Big blind checks it over. I decide to check it back and hope they take the bait on the turn. Turns a 6 of hearts, checks to me again. Guess I'll need to do my own betting here. Throw in 800 and get a fairly quick fold. Hard to get large value early in these tournaments. Everyone's still playing pretty tight, so on to the next. About a revolution later, not the cool kind with fireworks and freedom either. I look down at ace-6 of spades in the small blind with one lonely limper ahead of us. We toss in a small raise of 400, just enough to stir the pot, so you're still awake out there. Big blind bows out, original limper in the hijack tags along for the ride. Heads up to a decent flop. Ace of clubs, queen of spades, 9 of clubs. Not bad, top pair, backdoor flush draw, definitely hits my range as a pre-flop raiser. I decide to lead out for 700 so I can maintain the betting lead here. Hijack makes the call. Definitely not done yet. Turn comes 2 of spades, bringing in the nut flush draw for me as well. I think there's definitely a case to continue betting here with the added flush draw. I decided to check though for a pocket roll, and hijack checks back. See, told you there wouldn't be any fireworks. River comes 7 of hearts. I decided to try for some thin value, maybe catch a call from a weaker ace or a sticky queen. Bet out 1,000. Hijack folds really quickly. So nice little scoop. On to the next. A few hands later, blinds are still at 5,100. There's a small under the gun raise to 350. Under the gun plus 1 calls. Folds around to me, and I look down at pocket 6s. Easy continue. I don't think there's much merit in raising at this point. We'll just see it flop and reassess after that. So 1,400 in the pot. Flop comes out 9 of clubs, 5 of spades, 3 of hearts. Not terrible for my hand. 1 over, decent run out really. I check over to the original raiser, who checks as well, and the under the gun plus 1 decides to lead out for 700. I'm gonna go ahead and make the call and see how it goes, and the heat gets turned up. Original raiser decides to 3-bet to 3,600. Very meaty raise. Under the gun plus 1 thinks about it for decent amount of time and gets out of there. Folds. I think through what he'd be doing this with. If he had thick value, like a flop set, huge overpair, etc., why 3-bet the flop? Why not just wait till the turn to turn up the heat on it, you know? I think with a lot of players I may just fold, but this particular player is very good. He can be bluffing here often. When he senses the weakness on a small bet and a flat call, it makes sense for him to try to just take it down now. I decide he's bluffing enough here that I can make a call and just see what happens on the turn. We have 9,300 in the pot now. Turn comes a king of clubs. Terrible card for me. If he was bluffing with ace king, he's there now. I check, and he fairly quickly checks back. And if he was bluffing with ace king, I think after he hit his gin card, I don't see why he wouldn't just continue on. So I think often here he has a hand like 10-10, Jack-Jack, Ace-Jack, Ace-Queen, maybe a weak ace that's where he's up against a big hand and just decided to give up. So river comes out a Queen of Hearts. I decide that if I check this down, I'm very likely losing to some middle pair, maybe, like I said, tens, jacks, possibly a rivered queen. I think the only way I'm going to win this pot is by betting at it. So we decide to make a bet, and I think to take this down against a very good player, I don't want to go huge. I'm just going to make it just under half pot sized at 4,500.
There's no fold here.
Typically no. Typically no.
Doesn't take him long to let the hand go. Sounds like he put me on a sticky king or queen type of hand. He later told me he folded pocket jack, so we pulled in a very nice pot here with some creative play. Okay, a little while later at the 5,100 blind level, there's an under the gun raise to 300, 3 callers before me. I looked at an ace-9 offsuit in a small blind. Decent little hand. Often I'll 3-bet here to try to take the hand down now, as ace-9 doesn't play very well post-flop often, especially with 5 people in the pot. But the initial raiser is very good. Likely we'll call, if not 4-bet with most hands. So I just take the passive approach, put in a call. It's cheap. I can get away from it cheap. Let's see what happens. Flop comes out, ace, queen, 3, rainbow. Decent for our hand. We're going to start this one off with a check. Surprisingly, checks all the way around to the button, who decides to bet out for 1,500. I think they're often just trying to buy the pot. Come along for a call with top pair, decent kicker. So does original raiser and middle position. So we're going to go 4 ways to the turn with about 7,500 in the middle now. Turn comes out, bing, 9 of hearts. I go ahead and donk out for 3K here. This board will likely check through. I'd really like to thin the field out. I don't want to have 4 people all the way to the river with likely a bunch of draws. Original raiser makes the call, MP folds, button folds. Gonna go heads up to a river now with 13,500 in the pot. River comes a blank 2 of spades. I take a look at the original stack raisers. He's got roughly 8,500 in his stack. I think a jam looks too strong here. A small bet looks pretty strong too. If I want it to look bluffy enough, I think going around 3/4 of his chips is the right number, right around 6,000. For some reason, people find it easier to make the call if the decision leaves them with a certain amount of chips left over and he doesn't end the tournament. So go ahead and throw 6,000 in. And now for the worst brain fart of the year and a very big misstep.
That's dead. He's got more.
Are you kidding me?
I said all in.
And that's dead?
Four.
I mean, obviously I'm fucking calling. Like, there's no chance I'm not calling for
Okay.
2,000 more? Okay, fair enough. That's good.
Count that stack, please. That's the back.
Yeah,
That's 6,000.
there's no doubt that was good. I mean, that was a call. Like, I didn't know it was an all-in. You did say all-in. Fair enough. Yeah.
You just had a brain fart. It'd be nice if the live
It's 0 fold equity. Yeah, he's probably got the winner. Like, he probably wants a call. I don't know, but I mean, there's no fold here.
Okay, so I'm going to rule this as a dead hand because I have to rule it that way for everybody. Because there's
That's
more
so
chips behind.
unfortunate.
and
That's
your
so
hand's
unfortunate.
exposed, I have to call it a dead hand.
That's terrible.
So yeah, this is completely on me. Elias did nothing wrong. He did exactly what he should do. Jammed all in. I had a brain fart. I didn't notice the all in. I know I said it in the video. I didn't. I was just thinking it was a call. That's why it's good to take a beat before every action that happens and make sure you're doing the right things, because these little missteps can cost you a lot. It cost me a big chunk of my stack. But nothing on the player, nothing on the dealer, nothing on the house. They all did what the rules were supposed to be. I screwed up, and I feel like an idiot, so hopefully I won't do this again for another year or so. I also have to say how cool Elias was about this whole thing. He apologized later because he thought that he could have done more to say, look, he's got the best hand, because I did. He just had an ace. But the thing is, it's not his fault. It's on me, not him. He threw in my add-on for me, so I didn't have to buy an add-on. That was pretty top class of him. Good guy. Let's move on. Alright, we're back at it, trying to rebuild after that mishap a few hands ago. Blinds at 100, 200. Look down 8, 9 of hearts under the gun. Decided to lead out for 800. It's a very nice little hand. I want to play it like it's a big hand throughout, and hopefully we just can take one down here. Lead out for 800, under the gun 1 calls, small blind calls, big blind calls. Let's go forward to the flop with about 3,200 in the middle. Flop comes out a miraculous 6 of hearts, 7 of hearts, 2 of diamonds. So we have a open-ended straight flush draw. Should be super hidden too. With under the gun raise, you wouldn't expect your opponents to be putting you anywhere near this hand. I continue for 1,500. Under the gun 1 makes the call. Small blind and big blind both fold. We're gonna go heads up to a flop at about 6,200 in the middle. Flop comes out the bank. 5 of spades. Well, it's not a straight flush, but I can't be too picky, can I? I don't slow down at all. If he has a bigger hard draw, I want to get the money in now. He won't be putting any on the river if the heart doesn't hit. And so I go 2,300, sizing it to give him really good pot odds on a call in the river jam. Leaving me only 4 grand back, so it's gonna just be an easy call in the river with most cards he has. And unfortunately, it doesn't appear he had much. Folds pretty quickly, but nice little pot, 6,200 coming our way. Trying to rebuild this thing. Quick little hand here, 100, 200 still. Middle position limps in, and then it folds around to me on the small blind. Looked at an ace-9 off. Not a great hand, especially post-flop to play with, so I'm just going to try to take it down here and raise to 1,000. Fairly meaty raise. Big blind folds. Original limper decides on a call. He's a fairly short stack with 5,300 behind. If he had anything really good, big to medium pocket pairs, decent overs, he'd probably just jam here. So let's just see how it comes out and reassess. Flop comes out king, jack, deuce, rainbow. Checks around, check, both of us. Turn is a 4 of hearts. I decided to do a delayed continuation bet of 1,000 just to see where I'm at, and he fairly quickly calls. With only 4,000 behind, if he had a king, maybe a jack, I think he just puts it all in here. Rebuy period's still open. It doesn't make sense to not just get it all in on something like this if you have a decent hand. So very likely he has some kind of a draw and needs to hit on the river. River comes out a 4 of diamonds. I bet basically all in for him. Put in 4K. He's got a 4,300 left. Quickly folds. Announces he missed everything. It's not always about what you have, but what they don't have. Pressure poker wins pots, and it sounds like we likely had the best hand anyways. But you definitely don't want to go to showdown here and see that you lost in pocket 6s. So take it down. Okay, we're at the 200, 400 blind level. Folds around to the hijack, who raises to 800. Folds to me, and I look down at ace queen offsuit on the button. Really nice hand. I feel like flatting here is fine, but I'd like to see if I can get some information on how strong the hijack's hand is, and put in a small 3 bet to 2,200 and see how she reacts. So small blind folds, big blind folds. Initial raiser doesn't take too long before just making the call. In these small tournaments, so hard to tell. Everyone plays differently, but normally they'd look at a flat call from a 3-bet and to be like ace queen or weaker, pocket eights, pocket sevens, things like that. So that's the range I'm working with right now, and we'll just see the flop and go from there. Flop comes out king, queen, 3, rainbow, and the initial raiser donks out for 3,000. Typically, a donk means a weaker hand has value, wants to end things now. I think second pair top kicker is too strong to fold just yet, so we go ahead and flick a call in. Turn comes a 8 of spades, and she doesn't take very long. Announces all in. I'm thinking through all of the hands that she should have here that I'm losing to that play this way. King, queen, sure. But that's so strong. Why would she bet like this? Why wouldn't she slow down a little bit? She's likely to get folds out of me. Ace, king, maybe? But she didn't even pause long enough to think about a 4-bet. Just went straight into call mode. I can't put her on ace king. It doesn't seem right. You'd think she would at least contemplate it, right? King jack, king 10, maybe. Seems like she should be worried I'd have ace king in this hand though, and she should be kind of letting me bet and calling. So I couldn't put her on a hand on well enough that made sense for this action. I ended up flicking in a call, and she gave me a full tour of Value Town, population 1. Flips over ace king and wrecks my world. Our stack is vaporized. We're down to 2,800 chips. Not great. Still alive, but man, we're gonna need some run good to get back in this thing. The good news is the rebuy period is still open, but I don't hit the give up button on rebuy unless necessary. I think we can still do this. Let's run it up. Okay, a few hands later, short stack poker. Let's get it all in and hope we double up.
I think she got to pull out some piece of it, didn't she? Didn't she get some of her chips back? Didn't she get like the last bet back or something? I think it was. I think like she lost most of it, but she got to like her last push. She got maybe. I think because it wasn't her fault. What's that? Yeah. 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 I'm curious. All right. Appreciate the action.
Yeah, I thought I'd give you.
Maybe Elias will hit me up next. That was.
And here's another fast one that blink and you'll miss it, so I'll just go ahead and let the natural audio take over.
I love some homemade mac and cheese. I'll tell you that. Homemade mac and cheese is the best. Mac and cheese in general is the best. I can get that. I can live off that.
I'm on.
Hey, look. Take off.
Just open-ended.
Well, unfortunately busted. I didn't record the last one. I totally missed it. I had queen 6 offsuit, terrible hand, but on the big one, had 5 limpers, 1,000 each, so there's 5K in the middle. I've got 9K behind, and it doesn't seem like anybody else is interested in the pot. So let's just take down 5,000. Real easy, right? So I jam, third limper calls, everyone else folds. He's got pocket 2s. Okay. So we see a flop, queen in the window, 2 right behind it, and we're out. So good run. We had fun. Smaller tournament. You never know how these things are gonna turn out. Man, I made a few mistakes. I also made some good plays too. I think including it all is good for you guys. And comment and let me know if you think I should do things better. I'm just figuring this whole process out, so criticism's fine. I'm good.